Hey everybody, welcome to Shooting the Shit with Yankee. As usual, I'm Yankee, so let's start shooting. Today I want to respond to something someone said in my chat yesterday where they said, it's always better to have any gun than no gun. That old adage people say all the time that, well, it's better to have the worst gun ever than just a pointy stick. And is that actually true? Well, I'm going to say that in most cases, yes, it's better to have a gun than no gun, even if it's just a little 22 revolver, like one of those little 22 mini mags, from NAA or something. Up close and personal, that's going to sting. But there are some circumstances you need to think about if you're going to carry a gun. You need to pay attention to the fact that sometimes if you present a firearm, that firearm better be able to get the job done, because if the other guy does the same, you're escalating the situation when you present that gun. Even if you just pull out a little 25 ACP pocket pistol, well, then that person now has every right to end you if they have the ability to do so. And if they've got a 9mm that they ain't pulled out yet because they didn't think the circumstances required firearms yet, well, then that little gun isn't probably going to take them down right away, and it's definitely going to get you killed. So it's better to not have it and not resort to it if it isn't going to do the job, if the other person can do the job. And that's just one of the things you got to think about when you make a decision to carry. You have to think, if I ever get to where I have to use this, is this going to give me a clear advantage, or is it just going to be an escalation of force that's going to be easily overcome? In fact, sometimes rather than pull out a little 25 pocket pistol, you'd be better off with a pointy stick. I think you could end someone faster with a sharpened stick, or what some people would call a spear. So, no, I don't think it's actually always true that any gun is better than no gun. That's why I always say, carry the best gun you can carry. Carry the best gun you can afford. Have one that will give you the advantage you need if you have to resort to it. If someone is attacking you, even if they're just using fists, whatever, and you pull a gun, well, then you've escalated that event right there. And now if that person has the means to escalate it even further, knife, bigger gun, whatever, things just got real, and your gun might not get the job done, and at least not before they take you out. It's like the story of that old lady recently who someone broke into her house and she got into a gunfight with him. She shot him once with a 357 Magnum and he died. He shot her 3 times with the 9mm. She still managed to take him out. So always consider that, especially consider that before you decide to carry a gun that doesn't do the job. And especially considered if you know your gun isn't up to the task, then don't bring it out and escalate the situation to where that inappropriate, an ineffective firearm is going to be a factor. So always keep that in your mind, because sometimes a pointy stick is better than the wrong gun for the wrong situation. Now let's see if anybody agrees with me here or disagrees. I like it when people disagree with me, but haven't seen a lot of that lately. We don't got a lot of people here tonight, so I'm hoping we get some people weighing in. Edgar Cortez, one of our regulars, a big supporter of our programs. If a gunfight is unavoidable and there is no way to run, I think that any gun is better than not having a gun at all with which to defend yourself. Well, if a gun fight is unavoidable, well, there are still some times where if someone was going to come at me with a little gun, I'd rather have a knife. Like I'd rather have a big old, if it's close quarters and someone's pulling out a gun and we're going to wrestle over his gun or something, I'd rather have me a big old knife in my other hand than I would like a little 22 pistol that might not go off. So, even in that situation, that is a more clear-cut situation. But even in that situation, there's still variables to consider. That's why this whole business of carrying a gun and self-defense, it's not as clear-cut. It's not as black and white as some people pretend it is. Usually those people are called trainers. There's one opinion right there. Mikey D says, not better to have one on YouTube. That's true. Absolutely. You better not have one on YouTube. YouTube will shut you down. If I was to just right now pick up an unloaded gun, they'd freak out, shut the viewership down, shut the live feed down, because anything, even if it's a toy gun, shut the feed down, and then take away my ability to do live chats. So they tend to freak out a little bit. You don't want to fight YouTube with a gun you're going to lose because they censor guns. So it's better you just don't have one. As long as it's not a Kel-Tec handgun, then yes. Well, yeah, I'd rather not be a Kel-Tec if I'm going to have a gun. But there's a whole bunch of bad guns out there. Kel-Tec's not the only bad gun on the market. They might be the worst of the major brands, but they're not the only bad one. There's lots of bad ones out there. And like I said, I don't like to shame people who carry inexpensive guns if that's all they can have. If that's all they've got, maybe they got it some way or another, and they can't afford anything better, and carry that rather than carry nothing and hope for the best, hope it doesn't malfunction. But if you've got the means to have better, but you've fallen for, the whole, well, anything's better than nothing. Well, then I'm like, get something better if you can. If you can't, sign up for TYMP, the Yankee Marshall Pistol Project. Go over my website. There's a link in the description of this video. Sign up over there if you can't afford a decent gun to help protect yourself and your family. We provide 4 families every month a decent firearm to protect themselves in their home. So go over there and take advantage of the program. It's no shame in admitting that, in these financial hard times that you can't afford to buy a firearm to protect your family. If you're feeding them, you're doing well. So if you're keeping them fed, I know lots of people right now where the adults, they may not eat the last couple of days before payday because it's either them or the kids that go without food. And I've been into that situation myself before. I didn't have kids at the time, but I've been in situations where I didn't eat the last couple of days for payday. I had to scrounge or go to a friend's house or something because I was dirt poor. I've been homeless. I know what it feels like, sleeping in student unions and on people's couches, and possible with the occasional hookup, So yeah, I know what it's like. I have an NAA Mini in 22 short. I'm sure a pointy stick would be a better option. This is Mark Culkins, by the way. Would be a better option for carry. Maybe its presence would de-escalate the situation with humor. Yeah, you might get some chuckles for pulling that out, actually. I don't know. That'd bring back, bad memories of high school showers for me, but laughing at your little gun, I don't want that happening. I'm scarred. PTSD over things like that. Dale Rickety, at times I undercarry, but I do agree bigger is safer. Yes, bigger is safe. Well, I don't know about bigger. I wouldn't. Sometimes I think you could probably go too big. I mean, I know what you're meaning and what you're saying is absolutely true, but some people go too big. I mean, like I can see what you're carrying, and I could easily grab it if we got into it. Some people, it's like the whole thing with long guns inside. I'm like, I don't want to have to come around a corner with my gun either pointing down, so I'm not giving away advantage, or with my gun barrel out where someone can grab it and control the end of the gun. So sometimes too big, and that's got nothing to do with what you said, but just made me think. So and sometimes when I think, it just comes out. I don't actually censor it. But that's going to do it for us today. I want to thank everybody who weighed in. We didn't get a whole lot of people weighed in, but we didn't get a lot of people here today. People who haven't watched my other videos know I'm currently in a battle with YouTube over censoring my channel, turning off my subscriptions, etc. So if you're someone who watches this channel, make sure you're subscribed. You won't get notifications otherwise. You won't see it in your recommended videos. Also, if you're someone that is subscribed, make sure you go to my channel page and turn on notifications, because YouTube's been turning them off for people. I heard from no less than a dozen people yesterday that it happened to. Either got unsubscribed or got their notifications turned off. And I heard from a couple people here in the chat tonight that got their notifications turned off. So go check, make sure you're subscribed, and make sure going to my channel page and make sure those notifications are turned on. And then hopefully next time we do a video, you can be here in person. You can weigh in live on whatever topic we're talking about, because this is about your opinions. I want you to be heard. So come on in, let yourself be heard. Hope to see you in one of the live chats soon. We do them every night at 6 p.m. except for Wednesdays when it's at 7 p.m. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.